Alright, so right now Matthew's gonna come around and get your names for attendance because the link is not correct. Apologies for that. So, yeah, and while he does that, I guess we could start. Just a note, this is going to be the last meeting of the year simply because I won't be able to make the next couple meetings, and I want you guys to all study for finals and all that fun stuff, so. Nice one. Oh. And yeah.
Bro, just do that too. I don't even know what you're doing.
Bro, just read what I wrote.
Okay. Alright, cool. Let's start now. Disclaimer. You guys have seen this 10,000 times. So essentially this is just informational purposes. Alright, and if you decide to invest and you lose money, don't blame it on us, essentially. So yeah. Okay, icebreaker for go ahead. Yeah. I'll get that up right now.
We should do World.
Austin hosted.
Wait, I did this?
Alright, guess I'm doing this then. Since most of you guys did today's Wordle already, we're going to move on to Wordle Unlimited, which none of you guys can cheat on. So, here we go. Anyone got a first word for us?
Great.
Everyone knows how, does anyone here not know how to play Wordle? I will explain this. Alright, so we have 6 attempts to guess a 5-letter word. The first word that we guess is gonna be completely random, kind of obvious, but if a letter appears as yellow, then it is in the word, but not in the correct place. If a letter appears green, it is in the word and the correct place. Now, let's carry on. First word, anyone? And you should choose, Andy. You're
I'll choose. Okay, let's go for one.
Train.
Train. All right, let's see.
What?
There's no way. Wait. Okay, anyone else for our second guess, which will probably be the right word unless we get scuffed.
Is Twain a bad word? Is Twain an actual word?
What is Twain?
Twain, like Mark Twain?
Mark Twain.
Is that an actual
Twain a word? I think Twain.
You could try it.
Twain's a
If
lot.
it's not a word, it won't accept it.
Yeah. Twain.
Twain.
You said that in sync, you're so cute.
I know, I am.
What? Okay. You know what? Since that was too short, let's do another one. Yeah. All right, Andy, pull up another. Come on. I have no idea. All right. So since we were so dominant that last round, let's stall for more time by playing another Wordle. So, Hal, you can start. What? What?
O-U-I-J-A.
Ouija?
Yeah, Ouija.
O-U-I-J-A. Is that a word? I don't know.
Luigi. J-A.
Wow.
Attention students, Future Voters Club is meeting now in C41. Again, Future Voters Club is meeting now in C41.
Excellent. All right, Matthew, go.
Crane.
Crane, a very popular starting word among the Wordle fans. All right, we have an R and the E, which are not in the right position. A pretty good start. Anyone else? Fuad, go ahead. Okay, never mind. Anyone else? How? Again? Huh? Green.
I have.
Whoa, Andy. R's not in the right place, bro. The R can't be in
You
the
can throw
second
this
spot.
around.
I'm not good.
Anyone else? Anthony, go ahead. Ranger.
That's not even possible.
Rain. Let's do rain.
No, the N is already.
There's no A or A.
So bad.
Rain.
Okay, Andy, let's have a guess on your reply. All right.
You're
Very
bad,
decent
Andy.
word. It's all right. Gets rid of some
It's not
options
alright.
that we don't have to consider anymore. What the heck? Maybe ER at the end? Okay, anyone else would like to offer up a word? It could end in ER or start with
Outer.
outer. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it is an ER. Okay, O is somewhere in there also. Where could it be though?
I feel like Otis.
I feel like O is the second letter because vowel consonant.
P is already bad.
P. Po.
P-O-S-E-R.
Po is gray.
There's no P. Okay.
Is already used.
Something O, something ER. Let's see.
Loser?
There's no L.
Mover.
Mover.
Super good.
Mover. I mean, we could try that. Yeah, let's try mover. M-O-V-E-R. Okay, yeah, O's in the right place.
I feel like it's an S though.
All right.
Sober?
Anyone else? Anthony, go ahead.
H-O-S-E-R.
What?
Hoser.
Hoser.
Is that a word?
Oh, no, is it?
You're actually.
We have one more attempt, ladies and gentlemen.
Dozer.
S is. Oh, yeah.
Alan, go ahead.
Sober.
S is already.
What?
Dozer. He said sober, but S is already used.
Okay.
Dozer.
What is this?
Dozer.
Dozer?
There's no S.
Dozer.
No. Dozer is a D.
Oh, really?
What? Let's think. We have one more guess left.
Guys, we can't end this off on a loss.
Attention students, Metric Club is holding their officer
Literally
information
nobody's
meeting now
there.
in C53. Again, Metric Club is holding their officer information meeting now in C53.
It could be like an R.
Dozer. Okay. Maybe, but any other guesses before we lock in this one? I'll take that as a no. Andy? Frick, alright. Well,
What is that?
Bower. Anyone know what that is? What is Bower?
Sounds like a Suwaki.
I mean, do we want to? I'm fine. I can host this.
Alright, this is Stocks Club.
Alright, since we failed this, we're doing one more because
my
more
God.
stalling for time. Alright, we have a new thingy. Who are yeah? Go ahead, start. Train. 1 second. Okay, cool. We have a I in the word that is not in the right place. How? Go ahead. Okay, well that's great. Matthew.
Moist.
Moist.
Why did you say it like that?
Oh yeah, whatever. I already guessed it. I's in the right place. We have an S in the word. Anyone else?
Simmer.
That's
Slime.
slime.
No, M is.
Quick.
Wait, slime actually. Oh, no,
Spike. Quick.
quick.
Spike.
There's no S in quick.
Spike. Yeah, Spike is good.
And you do spike.
There-
Spike?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, okay, we got.
All right, Spike. Let's go. Okay. That's nice. We got a P in the wrong place and an S not in the first or fourth positions. Anyone? There is a P. Where did the P go? I have no idea. P something? PH?
Rips? No.
PHI.
Slips? Slip?
Any guesses? Any?
Slips?
Oh, yeah. No, slip. It can't be slip to the
Because the S is not at the front.
Flips.
I feel like there has to be a flip.
Flips. Flips. That's a good guess. Oh, okay.
Flips.
Clips.
Wait, we have clips. Anything that no, be exchangeable with C.
Clips.
Yeah, do clips.
Clips is the only one I think.
Okay, yeah. Clips. Nice. All right. Cool. 5 guesses. Good job, everyone. Cool. All right. That'll be the end of our icebreaker today, everyone. Thank you for participating. Who's next?
Icebreaker was half of the meeting, bro.
Okay, thank you everyone for participating, and Austin for leading us there. Very nice touching up at the end. Alright, so spreadsheet check. Make sure to check, just scan the QR code. If you are a new member, you probably won't have any records, but we will get you up there. But if you are a returning member, just check, make sure your attendance is all correct. And if there's any issues, just let me know. Either like right now, I'll give you guys maybe like 30 seconds. And then if not, then just let me know at the end of the meeting and I'll get that fixed for you. Alright, and while you guys check that, we'll move on to what did we learn about last time. So, essentially, we just saw the market is still in a steady decline as a result of the resurgence of the new variants of COVID and all of that. But that is getting better, which is very nice. And then mutual funds, essentially, they utilize investors' funds through securities to make money, essentially. And if you ever hear the abbreviation FANG, that is essentially meaning Facebook, which is now rebranded to Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Alphabet, aka Google. This is important because this is a common term that you hear if you want to go into computer science maybe, and you'll just hear that, and that just essentially refers to all of those big companies. And the metaverse, we talked about that last time also, just could potentially be the new internet. And bonds are essentially loans given out to borrowers to investors with the maturity rate, which is the date that it has to be paid, and interest. And you can also buy bonds from governments, etc., all that. Bonds are generally lower risk versus stocks, but also lower reward, like in everything. And companies go public and list stocks in order to round up funds at the beginning. Okay, agenda. So, we're going to talk about the market update, terms, and then insider trading, and then we will end off with our final specific stock dive of the school year. Okay, market update. So, as you can see, very interesting. This actually happened last time, like in our last meeting. The market did go up, but so far, as you can see, all of this has not been doing too hot. Now, what do you guys see at the top of the sectors? What does that mean?
Oil.
Exactly, oil, yeah. So as you can see, the sector's been up 36%. And considering pretty much everything else is tanking really hard, that's just really kind of crazy. And I'm sure pretty much all of you guys know about what's happening with like oil and stuff. But yeah, so like I was saying earlier, the top 3 indexes, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P 500, essentially just give a kind of estimate on how the market's doing. So as you can see today, we were actually doing pretty good. But do not be fooled, because as you can see, this is the past month. As you can see, even though we had a green day today, it doesn't necessarily reflect what the market's actually been doing. And as you can see, it's not been doing too hot. But in the past couple of days, we actually have been increasing. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, like I talked about last time. Just because one day necessarily does good, doesn't mean the next day will do great. Alright, don't make that assumption. It's very, very dangerous, as you can see from that. So, yeah. So that's our market update. And now we'll move on. To terms. Alright. Who would want to explain this? Anyone? Oh, this is the college comer.
My favorite Indian.
So basically, averaging down is an investing strategy that involves a stock owner purchasing additional shares of a previously initiated investment after the price has dropped. The result of this second purchase is a decrease in the average price at which the investor purchased the stock, and it may be contrasted with averaging up.
Alright, thank you. So I'll just elaborate on that a little bit more. So essentially, averaging down. So usually this happens with like huge companies. So for example, let's say you have Google shares. And you know, everyone knows that Google is pretty reliable, correct? And their price is generally going to be going up. Now, let's say they suddenly drop maybe $10, $15, which is actually a lot. But you know, it's not because of anything major. It's not because they suffered like a hit to their reputation. It's not something that they happen as a result of, I guess, various things that could be bad to a company, like maybe losing money, maybe COVID even. So if you know that this is something that's not that major, you can actually literally just buy more shares at a cheaper price because you know it's going to go up. At least that's what you're betting on. And this is why I specifically take Google as an example. So let's say you do this with like a penny stock. You have a penny stock, which I don't support in the first place, but let's say you have a penny stock, and this penny stock like drops really hard, and you buy even more. And this kind of backfires if it drops down even more, because then you're even taking more losses because you have more shares. So this is just kind of like a somewhat just a main strategy that a lot of investors actually use, but it does depend on just all of the factors, and it is actually quite a good strategy if you can take advantage of the dips. So yeah. And as he said before, it is contrasting with averaging up, which is basically the opposite. And okay, IPO. Who wants to do that? Anyone? Josh, come here.
So an IPO is an initial public offering, which refers to the process of offering shares of a private corporation to the public in a new stock insurance. And an IPO allows a company to raise capital from public investors. The transition from a private to a public company can be an important time for private investors to fully realize gains from their investment, as it typically includes a share premium for current private investors. Meanwhile, it also allows public investors to participate in the offering.
Alright, thank you, Josh. Honestly, I don't have much to add to this. This is a really solid definition. So, yeah, so like you said, essentially an IPO is just something that kind of helps private companies turn public. And they also round up funds like this, and it's just something that a lot of companies actually utilize when going through that transition. So, yeah. Okay, price rally, Matthew.
No blocks. It's better that way.
Price rally. A rally is a period of sustained increases in the prices of stocks, bonds, or related indexes. A rally usually involves rapid or substantial upside movements over a relatively short period of time. This type of price movement can happen during either a bull or a bear market, when it is known as either a bull market rally or a bear market rally, respectively. However, a rally will typically follow a period of flat or declining prices. A rally may be contrasted with a correction or a market crash, which is a rapid or substantial downward move in short-term prices.
Thank you, Matthew. Alright, can anyone think of a stock? Anyone that recently experienced a price rally? Anyone think about it? Increased really fast and now it's like slightly declining or flat. Matthew. I guess you could call that a price rally, but that was like almost artificially increased. So, anyone else? Any thoughts? Alan? It's the stock in our stock card. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so yeah, Tesla. Tesla is a big example of a price rally. And I'm sure all of you guys know, it actually recently, or a couple months ago, it broke $1,000. And if you guys want to check the price of it right now, it's probably around high 800s, maybe mid 800s. So,
801.99.
yeah, so as you can see, they experienced a major price rally. And as you can see within definition, they are now like down a lot. And they just rapidly increased and then rapidly decreased. So that is a price rally. Forex. Okay, Flood.
The short man.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Forex refers to the global electronic marketplace for trading international currencies and currency derivatives. It has no central physical location, yet the Forex market is the largest, most liquid market in the world by trading volume, with trillions of dollars changing hands every day. Most of the trading is done through banks, brokers, and financial institutions. The Forex market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, except for holidays. The Forex market is open on many holidays on which stock markets are closed, though the trading volume may be lower. Its name, Forex, is a portmanteau of foreign exchange. It is often abbreviated as FX.
Alright, thank you, Floyd. So I'll just elaborate a little bit more. So, essentially, Forex, you guys know the stock market, right? The, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ Exchange. Well, a Forex is literally just a foreign exchange market. And the reason why this is so important is, well, I guess one thing that's pretty interesting about Forex is something we talked about a couple of minutes ago. Arbitrage. Can anyone remember what that means? Arbitrage. Anyone? No. Okay. Well, essentially, arbitrage is just buying something on a foreign market and then selling it higher on an actual market. And people did this with cryptocurrencies. Like a guy literally made himself a billionaire by literally performing arbitrage on Bitcoin, and now he's just chilling with a bunch of money. And yeah, so essentially that's what the Forex is. And the reasoning why many holidays, why they're open on holidays, can anyone think of why these Forex markets are open? Exactly. So it might be, let's say, Christmas in the US, but it might not be Christmas, let's say, in China. So because of the time zone difference. So yeah. And that's the wrong button. Alright, now we're done with terms. Now we move on to insider trading. So what is insider trading? Insider trading is essentially trading stocks by someone who has insider knowledge, and this is highly, highly illegal. But people still do it because it's the government, and yeah. So usually the people who have private information, they tend to be like extremely accurate in their predictions because they have the knowledge that something's going to go up or down. And as a result, they just make a bunch more money. So, so it could result in jail time if the private information is not disclosed to the public, which is pretty much what insider trading is. And these private information about a stock, according to the SEC, could give investors an unfair advantage. Like I explained before, it's pretty clear why this would be a large issue. Like, let's say, oh yeah, this stock is going to go up by $100, and you literally know this guy's the CEO. You're gonna buy a bunch of shares of this like stock and then make $100 per share. Like that's just like insane. Obviously this is like an example. It's not as crazy as that is, but like this is like just a huge, huge, huge issue, and it still happens probably right now even. Okay, so some examples of insider trading. So one illegal case of insider trading, notably, in 2015, a financial analyst for Amazon was paid $10,000 for unreleased quarter earnings of the company. Now, these quarter earnings, what do earnings do to a company stock? Anyone? You guys probably know this. Austin.
It makes it go places.
Yes, but specifically what happens? Let's say earnings is down. Let's say they missed on their earnings. What happens? Sludge.
The share goes down.
Yeah, and why does that happen? Okay, what is the let's say this. How is the market controlled? Does the company control what their price is?
How the consumer views the stock.
Exactly. So if let's say you're investing into a company and you believe in this company, and then earnings come out and they miss their earnings. Essentially, they don't make as much money as analysts predicted to. So that's gotta cause some distrust in that company, correct? And as a result, a lot of these shareholders tend to sell. And when selling happens, the share price goes down. Yeah. So that's why these quarter earnings are just kind of a big deal, and why $10,000 is the amount that it is. And they ended up making $115,000 from trading these shares. And the financial analyst was eventually sentenced to 6 months in prison in 2017. All right, deep dive. Alan, you want to take over here? Alright, so our final deep dive of the year is going to be Tesla.
So here's some key info that you need to know about Tesla. First, their ticker symbol is TSLA. Their price as of the market close today is around $800. They currently have a market cap of $828 billion, and their revenue for the entire fiscal year last year was $53.8 billion. Does anybody know what a PE ratio is? Would anyone like to say what? Okay, Austin?
Twice to earnings?
Yes. So essentially, it's a financial measurement ratio that compares a stock price to the company's earnings per share. And basically, what it tells you is how much an investor is willing to pay for every dollar that the company makes. So right now, investors are willing to pay, by looking at the ratio, you could say that investors are willing to pay $163 for every single dollar that Tesla makes. So by that standard, many investors say that Tesla is overvalued. Their 52-week high, which is basically the highest price that they experienced in 1 year, was $1,200, and their 52-week low is $546. So they're about in the middle range of that. So this is just more on the deep dive. Tesla, a really key factor of the business is their CEO. They're led by a strong founder and CEO, Elon Musk, even though CEOs are generally important, but Elon Musk is really important as a CEO because, as many of you might know, a lot of his tweets go viral and they can affect the share price. So a lot of people have either lost money or made money off of that. In 2021, Tesla has been steadily increasing production for electric vehicles to meet current demands, and they still remain by a mile, really, the world's leading electric vehicle manufacturer. In Tesla's latest earning report, which was their fourth quarter for the fiscal year of 2021, they reported a net income of $2.3 billion, which is huge, and it was almost an 800% increase from the quarter last year. And also in their latest quarter, which is for those of you who don't know, a financial quarter is a 3-month year, so in their last quarter of 2021, they delivered 940,000 vehicles, which is actually really good.
Now it's time to answer the big question: should you buy Tesla? First of all, let's say that this is not financial advice from the second slide of this presentation. All right, so keep that in mind. Currently, Tesla is down more than around $400 from its all-time high. Remember the last couple of slides, it was at $1,200, now it's at $800. Although that may seem like a good place to start with some money in, because discounts, we still need to consider their fundamentals. So, as Alan mentioned about the PE ratio of $163, that makes Tesla slightly overvalued than, not slightly, overvalued, more overvalued than most other automotive companies. So, comparing Tesla to Toyota, the second largest manufacturer of cars by market cap, we see that although Tesla's market cap is around 3.5 times that, like 800 billion, compared to that of Toyota, Toyota produces 10 times the amount of vehicles per year compared to Tesla. Remember the aforementioned Tesla producing 900,000, was it? Yeah, 900,000 cars in 2021. Yeah, 2021. Toyota made 10 million in the same amount of time. So, although they made more cars, Toyota still has a less market cap than Tesla does. Alright, so from this we can see that Tesla is slightly overvalued. Overvalued than most other car companies. Right now, their market cap is actually more than all the car manufacturers in the world combined. So, keep that in mind while you're investing. Okay, so Tesla, they also have their strong points. Their projected growth is aimed at the moon. And as of now, there is no significant sign to halt that growth. By significant, I don't mean, but yeah, by significant, I mean like another pandemic going around, right? The pandemic right now, it's like
the numbers are going down. So now they're starting to make more, what do you call those big buildings? Warehouses that they make cars in. So that will also, they also announced more new cars in the following years, which will also add to their growth structure. So overall, in the long run, Tesla will almost certainly be trending upwards, although the graph you see right now may not be as pretty as people may say it is. So investing in Tesla is a smart choice, but not financial advice. Dollar cost averaging would be the most optimal way to invest into Tesla. Does anyone know what dollar cost averaging means? Anyone? Okay, no. So dollar cost averaging, pretty easy, pretty simple concept. You basically set up a monthly plan to put a certain amount of money into a specific stock. So like every month you could put like $100 into Tesla, and you can automatically do that because most stock exchanges offer that option to invest into stocks. So yeah, that's about it for the should you buy part for Tesla.
Alrighty, so now we move on to paper trading. Alright, last one of the year. Alrighty, okay, so let's check back on our paper trading. Not looking too hot, not at all. But alright, let's go over some of these, shall we? So the only stock, actually here, yeah, okay. So the only stock that we actually are making money in is Berkshire Hathaway. Now, is this a major surprise? No, because it's Berkshire Hathaway. But yeah, let's see. What are our biggest losses? Oh yeah, Netflix. So Netflix has like gone down tremendously. It's like kind of insane. Pretty much half of the stock price when we bought it is now gone, and as a result, we lost $8,000. Now this kind of shows that a couple months ago we were actually in something called a bull market. I'm sure most of you guys know what that means. But essentially, the market was doing great. Everything was doing well, and then this happened. So this is just showing you how dangerous this actually is. Obviously, this is fake money. But what if you actually had $100,000, and you did all of this, and now you just lost a lot of money. But let's say that you lost a lot of money. So 17K to be exact. So this just kind of shows you that it's not all green. It's not all make money, but if you make the right plays, like we did on Berkshire Hathaway, you can potentially make money even in a situation as rough as these times are. So, with that said, nothing much to say honestly about most of these stocks. You guys saw on the sector performance, basically all of the stocks are going down, except for obviously energy and minerals. So, yeah, any stocks that we want to buy, and if not, honestly, we'll probably reset it for next year. But yeah, so this is where we finished at, right? Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll do like a little competition from each year to each year. But yeah, so this is where we ended up. Yeah, that's pretty much it for paper trading. And now we'll move on to posting a reflection. So, got the papers, just pass them out. So, if you guys are new, so essentially what we do each meeting, please rate it 1 out of 10. Don't put your name on it. Alright, don't put your name on it. Make sure it's anonymous, and just give us. Rate it from 1 out of 10 and rate the meeting, and essentially give us a small note, tell us what we can improve on, and yeah, with that said, okay, these are our contact info. be sure to check out the YouTube in a couple weeks. All of our meetings are going to be there if you are interested in looking at them. And they will be updated very soon. This is a sign-in link. It doesn't work, but nice. And yeah, that's our Discord, that's our Instagram, that's a Remind. And thank you all for coming. This was the last meeting, like I said, of the term. And we hope to see you next school year. Yeah, and also good luck on finals. Make sure you're studying. Good luck on your AP tests, all of that.